Okay, so now we're just gonna quickly talk about the area of composite figures. So I have a question here and we're gonna go through it. So Ethan is making a sign for a garage sale. How much cardboard does he need to make it? So if we take a look at the sign here, our first thing to do is to make it into two figures, or I guess with this case, it's two figures that we already know, right? So we have a rectangle here and we have a triangle here. So what we're going to do now is to try and figure out the base of our triangle, right? Because this is the only information that we're really missing to find the area of our triangle. So if we take a look, we have 4.5 yards from here to here and 4.5 yards from here to here. And this missing piece, our information is already given on this side, right? So this is going to be the exact same. So this is going to be 27 yards. So what I'm going to do to get my base is I am going to equal. So this is 4.5 plus 4.5 plus 27. And this is going to give me 36 yards. Okay, so I now have all the information that I need. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to write my equations. So I have the area of my terrible rectangle, but that's okay, we're gonna roll with it, is going to be my length times my width. And so I'm going to find this one first, and I'm going to do my length times my width, which is going to be my 45 times my 27, which is going to give me 115, not 115, 1,215 yards. So I found my area, my first area, and then I'm going to do my second area. So the area of my triangle, which is going to give me my equation, which is base times height divided by 2. And then my base of my triangle is the 36 yards times my height of the triangle, which is right here, which is 27 yards. And then I'm going to divide that by 2. Okay, and so when I do the math, I get 486 yards. And then my third step is to add my areas together. So I have the area of my rectangle plus the area of my triangle is going to give me my total area. So I just plug the information I know in. I'm just gonna box these. So my total area is gonna equal 1215 plus 486, which is going to give me 1701. And so my therefore statement, Ethan is going to need 1,701 yards squared, I don't know why I put YRD, squared of cardboard. Okay, so the second thing we're going to do is take a look at what happens if we're doing the missing information. So we're going to take the same steps and we are going to set it up into things that we already know, right? So if I cut this down here, we have our triangle here. And then if I'm just going to cut this here, and we can see that we have our rectangle. So this would be area 2 but then we also need the area of our semicircle, right? So area 2 and area 3 is a circle. So then what we're going to do is we're going to write the equations that we're going to need. Okay, I'm going to write, instead of doing it one by one, I'm going to write them all out. So I'm going to do our area of our triangle first. So the area of our triangle is going to be base times height divided by 2. And then the area of our, so we're going to have a different color. The area of our rectangle, I was about to say square, is going to equal length times width. And then the area of our semicircle, I'm going to do a full circle here for now, is going to equal pi r squared, because that's the area of a full circle, but because we're only going to need half of it, we're then going to divide the full thing by 2. Okay? And then what I'm going to do, I didn't do this in the last step, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to then write, okay, so my information, so I have all of these, right? 1 and 2. So if I take a look, I'm going to write, okay, the base of my triangle, right, is going to equal, so right now this side, to find this, what we're going to do is we are going to take 20, because we have half of it here, right? Our radius is 20 centimeters, which means half of this is 20 centimeters. So for us to get the full thing, right, we're going to do 20 plus 20, which is going to give me 40 centimeters. All right, you guys see how I got that? Half of this side is 20 centimeters. So we just need to double it to get the full length of it. Right, so we have that portion, and then to get this part, because we have this missing information, we take a look and we say this whole thing is 80, right? And then this portion here is 50. So what I'm going to do to get this is do 80 minus 50 is going to give me this missing section here. So this is going to be 30. So the base of my triangle is 30 centimeters. The height of my triangle is this 40 centimeters. And then I'm going to do the same thing for these other ones. So the length of my rectangle, right? So I'm going to do length is equal to 50. And the width of my triangle, or rectangle, sorry, is going to be that 40 centimeters. And I go over here, and the information I need is my R. So our radius was given here, and our radius is 20 centimeters. So what I can now do is take my information and plug it in. So for here, I'm going to do my area is equal to my base, so my 30 times my 40 divided by 2. And when I put that in my calculator, I do 30 times 40 divided by 2. All right, so if I show you here, I would do my bracket 30 times 40, and then another bracket divided by 2, and I get 600. So the reason I did 30 times 40 first is because it's up top, right? And you also get back to your bed mass. So if I do that, I get 600 centimeters. And then I go to the next one, and I plug the information I found into my equation. So my area is my length times my width, which is equal to 1200 centimeters. Then I go to my next one, and the radius of a circle, we just plug our information into the radius divided by 2, because again, we have our half circle, right? We only need half of it. So I'm going to plug pi, and then I plug in my r, 20 squared divided by 2. So what I can do is I can either plug that whole thing in as a like up top as a bracket. Right, so I can do, if I take it here, I can do, where's my pi? If I am blind, my pi, right, rephrase. So I'm gonna do bracket, I'm gonna do bracket pi. Okay, I lied, I'm gonna do the top part in first. So I'm gonna do pi, I'm getting myself confused. Pi 20 squared, and that's going to give me that number. And then I'm going to do, so that gives me the top part, and then I'm then going to divide it by 2, and I get 628.3. Sorry, my brain is not working this morning very well. Centimeters. So for this portion here, right, that since that is cut out of, we need this area of this thing, right? We need the full area of this. So we found the full area, if we add these all together, we found the full area, including that missing circle section. So what I would do is your third and final thing, you're going to, remember we add all of our things together, but because this is missing, we need to minus this part. So the area total is going to equal 600, so this area, plus this area, and then I'm going to minus, because we found this area, I'm going to minus 628.3, which is going to give me a total area of 1171.7 centimeters squared. And that's how I find the area of something that looks a little bit like that.